ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणम्। Hare Krishna, welcome back to the Bhagavad Gita study group. Thank you all for joining. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Last week we started chapter 15, right? Purushottam Yoga. And in the very first verse, Krishna tells us that this material world can be compared to an ulta banyan tree, right? A large ashwatha tree. The roots are upar, urdhva moolam, right? Which means that the roots are originating from God, right? All of us, all different life forms, all the planetary systems, everything, right? We all are like the branches which are extending downwards. Adah Shakham, right? Our soul is like that Ashwatha. It is eternal. It has its roots in Krishna. Okay? Our soul is nourished and sustained by Krishna. But Prakriti has these twisted ropes. Goodness, passion, ignorance. And Prakriti creates these branches which are made of desire, right? Because of the hajar distractions in this material world, right? Because of our hajar desires, we do karma. But the problem is that it doesn't stop there. Whenever I do a karma, my karma gives rise to more desires. And more desires lead to more karma. And this is what becomes an endless cycle, because of which the branches grow very, very thick, right? Itne thick ho jate hain ki these branches also go and put down secondary roots and they become very, very complicated trees. So in this human form, we're all performing karma, and because of ignorance, we get caught in that karma phal, right? This karma phal takes us kabhi upar and kabhi niche, urdhva adha, right? And it gets so complicated that we get lost in this tree. We cannot see where it began and we cannot see where we are headed. As souls, we forget that we all have a divine birth, right? We forget that we are divine. We forget that we belong there. Instead, we're very happy getting lost in this material forest. And we start believing that it is this material world that maintains us. But Krishna is so kind that even when we've come to this material world, He has given us the Vedas as a manual. Right? He has said, for God's sake, use these Vedas and live your life correctly. So they will help us get out of this complex tree. Chandamsi yasya parnani. The leaves of this tree are the Vedic hymns. The Vedas are capable of teaching us what our dharma is. Right? What is the right way of living? What is my varna? What is my ashram? And therefore, what is my varnashram dharma? Right? We all remember 4 varnas: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. 4 ashrams: Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. So our dharma is based on our varna and our ashram. And if we follow Guru Sadhu Shastra, we can very clearly understand what our dharma is. Right? We all have very fundamental questions. What is the true purpose of my life? What is the moral basis on which I should be living my life? Right? And most importantly, how do I finish my business here and how do I go back? Hana? And Krishna says, a person who understands all of this, yastam veda sa vedavit. A person who understands this secret, a person who understands the real purpose of the Vedas, the real purpose of this tree, that person he's understood what he needs to do, and that person has understood the secret of cutting down this tree of sansar. This person is called Vedavit. Right? Unfortunately, we tend to ignore these leaves of wisdom. Right? We tend to ignore the real purpose of the Vedas. And we get stuck in the flowers and the fruits. We get stuck chasing artha kama. We don't want dharma, we don't want moksha. Right? Our focus becomes artha kama. We're only interested in fulfilling our desires and gaining more and more material possessions. But keep in mind, fruits खराब होते हैं, सड़ते हैं, है ना? Flowers, they wither away. And when that happens, we are in pain. We suffer. Right? We all know that this material forest is temporary. Everything is constantly changing. Everything dies 1,000 deaths. Nothing is permanent in this material world. Right? We all know that this is a forest of illusions. And still, we get stuck in the flowers and the fruits. Until one day, by mercy, right, we get very, very blessed. Somebody enters our life and we realize कि नहीं यार, मुझे तो यहाँ नहीं फंसना है ना? I really need to get out. What the hell have I gotten myself into? What am I doing with my life? And at that time we hear Krishna saying, Asanga shastrena dhrudena chitva. Cut down this tree. Cut it down with determination, and the weapon that you have to use is Asanga shastrena. Asanga. Give up attachment. So this deep-rooted Ashwatha tree has to be cut down with the strong axe of detachment. That is the first step. But the first step alone is not enough. Right? As soon as we cut down that tree, we need to attach to that beautiful, to that gorgeous, to that all-pervading, that supreme protector, Krishna. How? By surrendering. By taking his refuge. Right? So the only way to actually cut down the Ashwatha tree and leave it like that is surrendering to the Supreme Lord. When we do that, we will not return to this material world. We will go back to our eternal home. Correct? And therefore, verse 5 is very, very important because it tells us the qualities that we need to have so that we can surrender. So, who will be able to surrender to that Supreme Person? One who is nirmana, nirmoha. So, one who is free from false prestige, free from illusion. Jita sanga dosha, who is free from all kinds of association, right? Material world ka association. Adhyatma nitya, one who is regularly practicing piety, right? Practicing everything that he is studying in the scriptures. Dvandver vimukta, sukha dukha samner. इस बंदे के लिए क्या हो गया है? He is free of dualities, so sukh dukha mean the same to him. Only that person can surrender to God and reach the supreme abode. Are we clear? Alright. So today we will move to verse number 6, where Krishna is going to tell us a little bit about that kingdom where we are all preparing to go. Alright? Verse number 6, please repeat after me. Na tad bhasayate suryo na shashanko na pavakaha yadgatva na nivartante tadham paramam mama.
That supreme good of mine is not illumined by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world.
Lovely. So this verse is giving us a description of that eternal sky, right? We have a very material conception of the sky, correct? When we think of the sky, we think of the sun, the moon and the stars over there. Hai ki nahi? In this verse, Krishna is telling us that in that eternal sky, there is no need for the sun or the moon or any kind of fire. न तद भासयते सूर्यो, वहां पे रोशनी सूर्य नहीं दे रहा है. न शशांको, not even the moon. न पावकः, not even some kind of fire. That place is not lit up by the sun, the moon or the fire. No, that spiritual sky is always lit up. It is always illuminated by Brahma Jyotir, by the rays coming from the Supreme Lord. है ना? The Vaikuntha planets, Golok Vrindavan, these places, they don't need any sunlight or moonlight. They are self-illuminating. And Krishna says, Yad Gatva, once you go over there, na nivartante, you will never come back to this material world. Tad dham paramam mama, that dham, my dham, is so supreme that anybody who goes there never has to come back to this material world. Right? Please remember how precious this is. So many times in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is giving us constant assurance. Yad gatva na nivartante. Once you go over there, Arjun, Subbalakshmi, Krishna, Sheetal, Renu, Indrajit, once we go over there, there is no coming back. We will be free from the sansar of janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi. है ना? इससे निकल जाएंगे. And just think about it. We might get to participate in His divine leelas. Just think about it. Right? Who knows? You could be a gopa, you could be a gopi, you could be a flower that is seeing everything that Krishna is doing. You could be a beautiful flower that Krishna plucks and puts in Radharani's hair. Right? Just think about how beautiful it is. Yad gatva na nivartante. Once we go over there, we will not have to come back. Right? So now Krishna says, I'm sure you want to come. So first let me explain to you this whole chakkar of transmigration that you are stuck in. Right? Let me explain to you how all these lifetimes you're going from one body to another body. Transmigration is a very, very interesting topic. Okay, maze lena. Lekin please remember, so far what has happened is we've all enjoyed transmigration from an intellectual perspective. है ना? कि अरे वाह, maybe I was this before. If I do this, I will become this. If I don't do this, I will become this. But now, understand transmigration as a spiritual topic. Ki bhai, how do I get out from this? Now let it not be a fascinating logical discussion. No. Now the only thing that we need to find out, verses 7 to 11 are talking about transmigration. Let's try and figure out how do I get out of this chakkar. Okay? Please repeat verse number 7 after me. Mamai vamsho jivaloke jivabhuta sanatanaha nah shashthani indriyani prakritisthani karshati.
The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmented parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind.
Thank you. Everybody take your highlighter and highlight the first word. Just see what a beautiful word that is. Mamai vamsho. Highlight it, underline it, whatever you have. Mama eva amshaha. Krishna is telling us, Mamai vamsho. Mayuri, Sumati, Sanchi, Shubhangi, all of you, please realize Krishna is telling us, Mamai vamsho, you are an amsha of me. Mama eva amsha. Krishna is very clearly telling us that we are all his amsha. We are parts of him eternally. Mamai vamsho jivaloke jivabhuta sanatanaha. Eternally, all of us in this loka, we are parts of the Supreme Lord. Can you all hear me? I think we've lost electricity. Sorry about that. The lights went off and I think Krishna just wanted you to hear Mamai Vamsho again. Hai na? Mama eva amsha. Okay, Krishna is telling us, all of you are always, sanatanaha, eternally a part of me. Eternally, all of us are clearly a part of Krishna. It makes me so happy because remember already Krishna has said, Aham bija pradapita. Right? I am the seed giving father. He says, I am your father. And now again he is repeating ki eternally you are a part of me. Right? Now according to Acharyas, there are two very important ways to understand this line. Okay, first, when Krishna says I am a part of him, then I should also very clearly understand that I will eternally be a part of him, so I should not try and become one with him. I am a tiny part. I am an individual soul. I have my individual personality. I am me and he is he. He is an individual. I am an individual. I am always a tiny part of him, but I cannot become one with him. Understood? My son is my son. He came from me. Right? But do we merge? No. He retains his identity. I retain my identity. So the first part, when Krishna says, Mamai vamsho jivaloke jivabhutas sanatanaha. Please understand, we don't talk of merging with the Supreme. Right? We understand that I am a tiny spirit soul. He is the Supreme Soul. I am always a part of him. So the second part I need to understand is, because I am eternally a part of him, then I have an eternal duty. And that is to serve him. Right? Jivera swarupa hai Krishnera nityadas. Right? My eternal duty, I am a part of him. So my eternal duty is to serve him. But what has happened ever since I've come into this material world? I have forgotten my relationship with him. So I have forgotten to serve him. I'm constantly under the modes. I have so many desires. My mind is running idhar udhar. My senses are running wild in all directions to experience those ridiculous desires. And so what is happening? Mana shashthani indriyani prakritisthani karshati. My man with the five senses. my man and my five senses together, we are placed in Prakriti. And because we've started identifying with Prakriti, we are struggling. Every jeev, so long as we think कि भाई मुझे इधर ही रहना है, everything is a struggle. Because that is Prakriti's job. Prakriti's job is to tie me up tight. Sometimes in Satogun, sometimes in Rajogun, sometimes in Tamogun. Right? So understand this very clearly. We are a very tiny part of Krishna. But as soon as we as souls come in contact with material world, with this Prakriti, then we have this overwhelming attraction, right, between us and Prakriti. Jiva instantly gets completely tempted by this beauty of the material world. Right? Husband मिल गया तो माँ बाप भूल जाते हैं, है ना? This is exactly what happens. There are so many new desires in the mind. The senses get so excited in experiencing the world कि they've forgotten who the Bija Pradah Pita is. किसके अंश है. So what happens? The mind and the senses, they cannot do anything on their own, right? They accept this physical body and they want to enjoy every experience possible. Okay? Let's repeat the next verse. Please repeat. Shariram yadavapnoti yachapyutkramati गृहीत्वैतानि संयाति वायुर्गन्धानि वाशयात्.
The living entity in the material world carries its different conceptions of life from one body to another as the air carries aroma. Thus takes one kind of body and again quits it to take another.
Lovely, very interesting verse. Shariram yadavapnoti. Remember we said the mind is full of desires and the senses are so eager to enjoy. Right? So what do? They take on a physical body when they give up the old body. Yachapyut kramatishwaraha. When the old gross body becomes dysfunctional, right? When the soul is not having fun in that old body anymore, right? The soul gives up that body and takes on a new body. Right? कार अगर जूनी हो जाती है, what do? We let go of the old car, उसको scrap करते हैं, नई गाड़ी ले लेते हैं. घर अगर जूना हो जाता है, we leave the old house, we go to a new house. Similarly, the soul gives up the old gross body, we call that death. It takes on another gross body, we call that birth. Correct? In the second chapter we did that vasansi jirnani yatha vihaya Navani Ghrunati Naroparani. So as soon as the soul becomes old, like old garments, we throw away old garments, we buy new garments. Like that, the soul gets rid of the old body and accepts a new body. Right? But we all see कि यार छोटे छोटे बच्चे होते हैं and they're all so different right from birth. Correct? Some kids are just happy babies. Some are cranky babies. Some love different people carrying them. Some babies love all the attention. Some of them want only mama. Some babies love meetha, everything sweet. My one bachcha loves meetha, gulab jamun, rava ka laddu, besan ka laddu. And the other one, oh my God, she likes chakli and vada pav. Dono meri hi bachche. Why the difference? Gruhitvaitani sayyati vayurgandhani vashayat. When we die, when we give up one material body, right, we've taken on another material body. At that time, what has happened? The gross body is what we've given up. But the subtle body and the causal body, they come from our past life. And based on that, based on the desires of our previous life, based on the consciousness of our previous life, we get placed in a particular womb. Right? So in this verse, what does Krishna say? Vayur gandhan ivashayat. Just as the air carries aromas. Suppose आपने भगवान के पास अगरबत्ती लगाई है. Right? Stand at the altar, you can smell it. But even when you go a little further away, are you physically carrying the agarbatti with you? No. पर अगरबत्ती की जो सुगंध है, the fragrance of that agarbatti, right, the scent, it comes along, है कि नहीं? Similarly, the old body does not come along. अगरबत्ती वहीं पे है, so the old body बस वहां पे रह गई, it is dead now. But the desires, the consciousness, they all continue the journey with the soul. The soul is traveling from one body to another, right? In his present body, he is enjoying certain activities, right? And this present body ka activities becomes the basis for his next body. Okay? One gets the next body based on his previous karmas. So remember, the gross body dies, but the subtle body does not die. That subtle body, which has a whole lot of impressions, that subtle body is what goes ahead with the Atma to the next life. So we all have to understand this concept of gross body, subtle body, causal body. I think we've done this before, है? But let's just quickly repeat it. Gross body, karya sharir, the body that is in the physical world doing all the activities. It is made up of Bhumir, Apo, Nalo, Vayu, Kham. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. Right? Sukshma Sharir, the subtle body, is made up of Man, Buddhi, Ahankar. The mind, the intellect and the ego. The Karan Sharir, the soul, the Atma. This keeps account of all the karmas from endless past lives. Right? It has all the impressions, all the sanskars, and that is what gets carried forward. So at the time of death, what is happening? This gross body, जो भूमिर आपो नलो वायु खम से जो बना हुआ है, वो वहीं पे छोड़ देते हैं. But the other two, the subtle body and the causal body, they continue forward. So please understand, whatever you have done to this gross body, you've got knee surgeries done, you've got Botox done, you've got stents put in the heart, all of that will stay behind. That is permanently dead and gone. But if you've purified your man, you worked on your buddhi, you worked on your ahankar, whatever is the latest version when we die, that version will go along. Let's say a few years ago, I was an angry person, I was a short-tempered person. But over the years, right, if I practiced and I persevered and I became a calm and a content person, then the subtle body that goes ahead will carry the impression that I am calm and content. Not कि I am angry and short-tempered. No. वो हो गया. Latest impression क्या है? I am calm, I am content. This is what will go ahead. And therefore, we all need to work on our man, on our buddhi and our ahankar. Because constantly remember, latest version will go ahead. Right? Our Atma will store all the impressions that we make on it. So if I program my Atma to think कि भाई बस पैसे के बिना कुछ नहीं है, बड़ी गाड़ी तो चाहिए, बड़ा मकान चाहिए, है ना, सब पे रोब जमाना जरूरी है, I have to be popular at any cost, then that is the impression that my Atma will carry forward, and I will get a body that will help me pursue those exact dreams. And not just that, not just my body, I will also be put in an environment where I will be able to pursue my dreams. But carefully, if I have developed a Shant Man, if I have made my buddhi Vyavasayatmika, a focused buddhi, then that is what I will carry forward. So please keep in mind, the body will get destroyed. There is no doubt about that, right? All the fancy stuff that we do for our bodies, uska pakka the end ho jayega. But what we have to remember is that the mind, the intelligence and the ego, all of this will continue in our next birth. So as a golden rule, है ना, whatever desires you have, look at each desire and keep two options. या तो वो desire को पूरा कर लो, या फिर वो डिजायर को प्योरीफाई कर लो. प्लीज रिमेंबर दिस. ईदर फुलफिल वॉट एवर स्टूपिड डिजायर्स यू हैव, निकल जाए भाई मन से, एक बार खत्म कर लो. मुझे बहुत सारे गुलाब जामुन खाने हैं, बिग डील यार, खा लो बहुत सारे गुलाब जामुन, एक बार पेट खराब होएगा, ठीक है, डील विथ इट, मन से उसको निकाल दो, एंजॉय इट एंड रिमूव इट. A lot of desires, I personally believe कि उनको आप satisfy कर लो, right? जैसे टीनेज में सुंदर सुंदर छोटे छोटे कपड़े पहन लो, खत्म कर लो वो एक डिजायर. If you've enjoyed it enough, you'll be able to give it up. हाँ यार, बहुत मजे किए, बहुत ट्रैवल कर लिया, बहुत सब कुछ देख लिया. A lot of us have now reached that age ना कि यार देख लिया जितना देखना था, अब कहीं नहीं जाना है ना. Now if the children say, let's go for a Europe trip, अरे यार ठीक है यार, whatever, है ना, बहुत घूम लिया, बहुत फिर लिया, तो उसको पूरा कर लो ताकि you're able to give it up. And if you think कि ना, this is not a good desire, then purify it. Please analyze desires, right? Because this is what is going to keep us fasod in this janma mrityu jara vyadhi. So desire के लिए दो ऑप्शन, या तो पूरा करो या तो प्योरीफाई करो. Okay? Please keep that in mind. A little while ago we had done the 5 koshas, right? Our sthula sharir is the annamaya kosh. Okay? Only that will stay back here. It will get destroyed. But our pranamaya kosh, our manomaya kosh, Vijnanamaya kosh and our Anandamaya kosh, right? They will go ahead. And based on our desires, we will be given our next body. So constantly remind yourself, I am soul, I have a body. This soul is the divine energy of God. This body is His material energy. ये gross body जो है, ये continuously life after life change होगी. But the subtle body is what is going to continue lifetime after lifetime. My mind has come from many lifetimes, right? So when my material body dies, this soul is taking my mind with all its experiences, right? You see, these days a lot of people are doing past life regression and they're finding out, why am I scared in a particular situation? Why do I have a fear of heights? Why do I have a fear of crowds, right? Why am I not letting go of my weight? So people are, why do I have this particular illness? People are doing past life regression and finding out. But for all of us who are by God's grace in a situation where we don't need to do all of that, we've held on to the Gita. The Gita is explaining to us. It is telling us, हाँ भाई है कोई तो पुराने लाइफ का कोई तो प्रॉब्लम आपने करके रखा हुआ है, right? Those impressions are stored in your subconscious mind. And those impressions are being carried lifetime after lifetime, right? You can do only 2 things. Finish a desire or purify that desire. Okay? Let's do the next verse. It will explain it in more detail. Verse number 9. Shrotram chakshu sparshanam cha adhishthaya manaschayam vishayanupasevate. Right? Like we said before, based on our previous thoughts and our desires, we get a new body which will have the exact kind of senses that we wanted. Shrotram, our ears, what I wanted before. That's why some people enjoy music, right? Some people enjoy jazz, some people enjoy rock and roll, some people enjoy bhajans, because that is an impression from an old time. Chakshu, eyes, what we like to watch, right? What we like to touch. Rasanam, tongue. Ghranam, smelling power. All of these are based around the mind. Adhishthaya manaschayam vishayan upasevate. The mind is the storehouse of all desires, and it is the mind which instigates the senses. Whatever the mind desires, the senses stupidly get excited to enjoy. It's like this. Please remember, if I want to buy a new house, right? I first figure out what is my budget, and then I figure out what all is essential for me, right? Because I'm going to live in that house with my family, correct? So first, what is my budget? है ना, करोड़ है, 5 करोड़ है, 50 लाख है. What is my budget? And 2, what are my requirements based on my family, right? If I have little kids, I want a school close by, I want a nice park, I want the club close by, I want my husband's office, commute to be doable. I want groceries to be available nearby. I want hospitals and doctors, right? I have older people, so I want a lower floor, right? I like the temple, so I want the temple to be close by, right? Maybe I want a senior citizen club close by. I want public transport to be accessible. So many personal requirements all of us have. And based on that, we decide our new house, correct? So new house is dependent on what? Budget and what is important to us. Similarly, when the new body comes, you know what it is based on? Budget is कि भाई इसका कार्मिक बैलेंस क्या है ना? बहुत सारे अच्छे कार्मिक बैलेंस होंगे तो बहुत अच्छा घर, थोड़े से होंगे तो है ना, वही है बुरी सारी जिंदगी. सो बजट इज आवर कार्मिक बैलेंस. सो एवरी डे रिमेंबर अपना बजट बढ़ाओ. जैसे व्हेन वी प्लान ना कि घर बांधना है, तो हाउ वी स्टार्ट सेविंग मनी, है ना? वी स्टार्ट पुटिंग आउट अ सेपरेट account, we start not doing little things so that we can save for a bigger better house. So from today, build that karmic balance. Make sure budget बड़ा अच्छा है, अच्छे लोकेलिटी में बड़ा सुंदर सा बड़ा बढ़िया सा घर खरीदना है. So karmic balance बढ़ाओ, that's our budget. And second, क्या क्या इच्छाएं हैं वो लिख के रखो. What do I want in this new house that I'm going to take? What do I want to hear? What do I want to eat? What do I want to see? All of us in our previous life have desired कि यार भगवत गीता तो यार समझना है ना? अच्छे अच्छे भगवान के शब्द सुनने हैं, अच्छे अच्छे भगवान के दर्शन करने हैं, राइट? अच्छा अच्छा प्रसाद खाना है. And that is why we are how we are. So please remember, based on our budget and based on our aspirations, we get a tailor-made body. Whatever I have today, I and only I am responsible for it. Right? Please remember, I am responsible for the kind of next body that I will also get. है ना? इसीलिए I've already studied. Mind is restless, mind is unpredictable, it's whimsical, right? It bhagos idhar udhar in different directions. It is very hard to tame and control the mind. Remember, Arjuna had told Krishna, and Krishna said, yes, the mind is like that. So what do we have? What is the solution? Mantra. Mana trayate iti mantraha. If we want to control our mind, if we want to purify our desires, right now what happens in most cases? The mind is controlling us. I want to realize that I am stronger than my mind. I am going to tell my mind what to do. And to get that strength, mantra, I need to chant. Why do we go to a mandir? जहाँ पे मन जो है धीर हो जाता है, where my मन gets support, where my मन becomes calm, right? When my mind becomes still, that is mandir. Therefore, जब घर में मन नहीं लगता, जब कहीं और मन नहीं लगता, go to a mandir. With that collective energy, we will become calm. We will reconnect. होता है ना, बच्चा जूते खा रहा है, हॉस्टल में रह रहा है, बुरा खाना मिल रहा है, लाइफ इज मिजरेबल, बहुत सारा प्रोजेक्ट्स, बहुत सारा एग्जाम्स, comes home. And when he comes home, my God, when my children come home, they sleep like they've not slept only in the last 6 months. क्यों? क्योंकि घर में शांति मिलती है, घर में सब कुछ रेडीमेड मिलता है, राइट? लेट्स मेक द मंदिर आवर घर. Go sit over there peacefully, है ना? Rejuvenate, get all the strength that we need, and then again we are strong enough to go back to the hostel, right? Okay, next verse. Verse number 10. Utkramantam sthitam vapi bhunjanam va gunanvitam vimudhananupashyanti पश्यन्ति ज्ञानचक्षुषः.
The foolish cannot understand how a living entity can fit this body, nor can they understand what sort of body enjoys under the spell of the most of nature. But one whose eyes are trained in knowledge can see all this.
Such a nice verse. Simply it is telling us कि if we don't want to know about the soul and the mind and the body and why we are where we are, then we are foolish, vimudha. Okay, without jnana we cannot understand the important stuff. Jnana chakshushaha is very, very important. Without knowledge I cannot understand utkramantam. Utkramantam means how am I giving up my old body. Sthitam, why am I placed in the kind of body that I am in. Bhunjanam, what मैं क्या क्या enjoy कर रही हूँ. Right? Guna anvitam, what are the different kinds of gunas that are working for on me. Am I in satogun, am I in tamogun, am I in rajogun. If I am vimudha, I will never understand all of this. What I need is jnana chakshushaha, the eyes of knowledge. And eyes of knowledge we can only get from Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. One who gets jnana is very, very fortunate. Please remember, all of us in this meeting room are very, very fortunate. Why? Because we're working towards developing our spiritual knowledge. At least by now we all know that my Atma is different from my body. I am the Atma, I have taken on this body. And I can continuously see कि यार ये body जो है ना ये change होते होते यहाँ तक पहुँची हुई है. Right? And the minute I go interact with the material world, I am bound to suffer. But my Atma is constant and my Atma wants to go back to that spiritual kingdom. Right? So Krishna is very clearly telling us, जो ignorant है, जो vimudha है, only he does not know his divine identity and he thinks कि बस ये जो physical body है, ये all in all है. YOLO, you only live once. So these people definitely don't have jnana chakshusha. These people don't understand that the soul is what takes on a body. Without the soul, the body is lifeless. When a person dies, heart, brain, lungs, हाथ, पाँव, whatever we think are important, सब कुछ काम करना बंद हो जाता है. They may be in perfect condition. But what happens? If the soul leaves the body, it is just a dead body. When the soul leaves, consciousness ends and we say that that person is now dead. So only people with jnana chakshusha can understand this concept. Others will think कि जितना enjoy करना है इसी life में कर लो, आगे तो कुछ है नहीं. है ना? So this is what Krishna is telling us. Be very careful. Develop your jnana chakshusha so that you're constantly aware of where you are and where you are headed to. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai. Thank you all for joining.